The Dollar Tree is one of America's largest retail chains, but after a botched purchase of Family Dollar in low earnings, it will close 1,000 of its stores nationwide. They say large part because they're underperforming. But where exactly did they go wrong? Joining us now from RetailWire.com, Dominic Miserandino. Dominic, good to hear you. Good to see you this morning. And we hear something like this about Dollar Tree closing. Why? There was a dip in sales, of course. There was this merger. So where did they go wrong? Essentially,
it's all an operational issue. It started at the purchase, and now they're looking at which stores are underperforming and eliminating those underperforming stores.
So let me ask you this. Aside from the obvious of items only costing $1 or so in these stores, what was done before this merger where they said to themselves, okay, you know, we can kind of turn this around and maybe not have to close these stores, when now just the opposite is happening?
Well, I think the story here is that they were trying to serve, they've been in these communities, and these communities, they might be the only store that serves this entire community in this area. So they've been trying to price it such a low price point, it actually pushed out other stores. Now these communities are basically dependent upon these stores, and with the elimination of so many, you're going to have quite a few little deserts.
So I guess people then ask, who live in these communities, and as you just mentioned, these stores are in communities where people need to save money on items that they necessarily couldn't pay a higher cost for at places like Walmart or Costco, or places like that. So now what do they do? What is the next move? What do you tell these people where, as you just mentioned, there's now going to be kind of a consumer desert in some of these areas?
That's the issue, because they might have been one of the few jobs in the community. They might have been one of the few places to get any form of resource that they needed, and these are people maybe who could not afford to go to a Walmart, etc. And that was the differentiator, where this was the store that served those communities, and the elimination of 600 Family Dollars is affecting 600 communities, not only the people working there, but every consumer who was going there for their day-to-day needs.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you about, too. The impact it has not only on the people shopping in these stores, but the people working in these stores that are now going to be out of work. This is not just, 30 or 40 stores. We're looking at 1,000 of these stores nationwide.
Correct. And that's my biggest concern, is that when you're talking about 1,000 communities, but you're also not talking about communities where there's an alternative sometimes. This might be the only store in town. So I don't think we're going to see what happens, and I think the story there is watch what happens to these communities. Does something fill in? Does something jump in the way and fill that need? And how long do these communities go without having this available to them?
Essentially, people are obviously not going into these stores as frequently, which is leading to a lot of these stores underperforming. Is this maybe, I guess, the flip side of what we're talking about here, proof that some people are turned off by discount stores, or is Dollar Tree just a victim of its purchase of Family Dollar?
I think it's more the victim of the purchase. This started a few years back once they made the purchase, and it became an operational issue at that point, because the other dollar stores are able to do it. And it was just a very different model between Dollar General and Dollar Tree, where this is operationally a completely different system.
All right, Dominic Miserandino, thank you so much from RetailWire.com. Dominic, good to see you again, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Now.
Okay, hopefully there'll be some good news out of some of those stores across our country, but we'll see.